march against Afspa walkathon that reached Kohima on Tuesday submitted a memorandum to the governor of Nagaland, Professor Jagdish Mukhi, demanding justice to be delivered for the deceased and Afspa be removed from Nagaland and the entirety of Northeast. Dr. Rosemary Juvichu, while addressing the march against Afspa rally at Rajbhawan, Kohima, stated that the rally was organized to protest and raise voices against the killing of Konyak Naga brethren by the Indian security forces on December 4 and 5 in Mon district. On account of vaccination drive held at Dimapur's Lion Club, more than 590 teenagers have turned up for the vaccination and still counting. The Guwahati High Court has issued notices to Assam and Nagaland Governor Professor Jagdish Mukhi for alleged financial irregularities in 3 state universities and 1 central varsity. Hello and welcome to Nltv Primetime News. I'm Rinki Gogoi. Let's begin with the news in detail. The march against Afspa walkathon that reached Kohima on Tuesday submitted a memorandum to the governor of Nagaland, Professor Jagdish Mukhi. The governor sentenced on the atrocities that have been meted out to the Naga public by the Indian military since the last 63 years. The governor was sensitized on how the act has been depriving innocent civilians their right to life in peace, which contradicts the very concept of human rights. The memorandum demanded that justice be delivered to the deceased, injured and families, immediate and adequate compensation be given to the nearest kin of deceased and injured, repeal Afspa from Naga homeland and entire Northeast region, take cognizance of past atrocities and excesses committed by Indian Army and thereby bringing the perpetrators under civil court for criminal procedures. The memorandum also demanded that the role of state government in handling law and order in the state be recognized and to make provisions that henceforth Afspa 1958 will not be enforced in Nagaland.
Abominable things Afspa has repeatedly deprived innocent civilians of their right to live, which contradicts the very concept of human rights and the reason for governments to exist in the first place. We therefore earnestly request you to take cognizance of the serious human rights crime committed by the Indian Armed Forces in the Uting massacre by bringing justice to the victims, to the families and injured, that the perpetrators be brought under civil court for criminal prosecution, and immediate and adequate compensation be given to the families of the victims and to the injured. To repeal Afspa 1958 in total from the Naga homeland and the Northeast, to take cognizance of past atrocities and excesses committed by the Indian military, and adequate compensation be given to the victims or to the nearest kin. Help initiate the process of justice and of righting past wrongs by bringing the perpetrators under civil court for criminal procedures. To recognize the state government's role of handling law and order of the state and make provisions that henceforth Afspa 1958 will not be enforced in Nagaland.
Advisor Naga Mothers Association and co-convener Global Naga Forum Dr. Rosemary Juvichu, while addressing the march against Afspa rally at Rajbhawan, Kohima, stated that the rally was organized to protest and raise voices against the killing of Konyak Naga brethren by the Indian security forces on December 4 and 5 in Mon district. She expressed optimism that the youth will lead at the front and transform Naga society. Dr. Juvichu questioned whether the Rajbhawan government of India, government of Nagaland, bureaucrats and police are able to hear the cries of the Nagas. She further went on to say that if they were Nagas, they would hear the voices of Naga people and stand in solidarity. Dr. Juvich asserted that the march against Afspa is just the beginning and the time has come for Nagas to question, stand and demand for our rights. She furthermore stated that the government of India still sees Nagas with colonial attitude and that Nagas are still treated with disrespect. She concluded her message by saying that the rally is for every individual, organization and family that has lost a member on their own land in the hands of the Indian Army.
All here to protest and to raise our voice against the killings of our sons at Oting, for the death of so many over the decades, countless. And we as mothers, we grieve, we share your sorrow. I particularly want to thank our Konyak brethren, the huge response from the Eastern Naga people on this walkathon which the Global Naga Forum had co-organized with the young people. Our youth are going to make the difference for us. It is time for our youth to lead. And we, as mothers, we are happy to be a part of this change in Naga society. It is not old people alone who are leading. It is our youth who came up with this idea that we must walk and walk like the olden days and go till the Raj Bhavan. The question here today is the Raj Bhavan listening? Is the government of India listening? Is the government of Nagaland listening? Are the bureaucrats, the officers, the police who are standing here today, are you Nagas? If you are Nagas, you will be in solidarity with the demand which the Naga people are placing today in the memorandum before the Prime Minister of India. We thank each and every one of you. We thank all the organizations that have supported, stood by the roadside, joined the walkathon, all the villagers, the councils, the various unions, and particularly the Pipema community that came together to host us in the middle of winter and yet made the evening as comfortable as one can imagine. We hope this is going to be the beginning for the Naga people, where we are able to raise our voice to question.
The two-day historic walkathon under the banner March Against Armed Forces Special Powers Act, which started on 10 January 2022 from Dimapur, culminated at Kohima today, covering more than 70 kilometers. Hundreds of people from different walks of life joined the People's Walk, voicing out to repeal Afspa from Naga homeland. A brief culminating program was held outside Raj Bhavan at Kohima. Following the program, 10 member representatives from various organizations submitted a 4-point charter demands addressed to the Prime Minister of India, to the Governor of Nagaland, Professor Jagdish Mukhi. The memorandum was accepted by His Excellency's Commissioner Secretary in his absence. A copy of the memo was also sent to the Union Home Minister Amit Shah, Minister of Defense Rajnath Singh, and to the BJP President JP Nadda.
I didn't get your question.
How are you going forward now? I guess you started the march, fighting again.
In the coming days too, like if we have to stand together and fight together, from my side, from my end, I'll be there. I'll be there to stand against it till the end.
Idu ita mohan suru kura nishna khatam hua tak sab ekilode thakibo alag alag kurne na jabo.
Any message for our Naga people, who are sitting at home and watching us also? Nltv kuma ahibo na parya khan. Apne hami eku message di bole mone se.
Nijur la kam thaki jai kunba do ahibo parya khan do ai jeshe ahibo na parya khan do bi তাখান কাম নিজুলা কাম নাপাৰা কাৰণে আহালা আছে হলিবি একো নহয় হলিবি প্ৰাৰ্থনা কৰা দে একিলদে সব মানুহ কাৰণে প্ৰাৰ্থনা কৰি দিবি প্ৰাৰ্থনা কৰা দে নাছাৰি দিবি তো কো মন আছে
মগানিবি to the same tan bi পিছে মানুহ বি আহি উলি মন যায় থাকি না বি problems থাকি না নাহাবি হ'ব পাৰে and then will be next time ina আৰু together মহান ইনা করলে আছে গুলি তো পার্টিসিপেট করবি ভাল হলি কাম থাকি না পারিছ গুলি কো নহয় লাইক শি সেড লাইক প্রেয়ার মহান কানি না উই নিড প্রেয়ার সাপোর্ট অলসো আর
Sir, regarding that, I have no say because we haven't heard, and we have, as you said, not only Kunak, I think even the Nagast, we are not aware of that. So sorry for that.
So, however, do you want the report? Do you want the government to bring the report out in the public domain? Do you think it should be out in the public domain for everybody to see?
Yeah, it has to be table. It has to be table. If the public are not aware.
On account of vaccination drive held at Lions Club Dimapur for teenagers aged between 15 to 18 years, Nltv has accumulated reports on the status of the vaccination drive. It has been reported that children born between 2003 and 4 are given the Covishield and children born between the years 2005 to 7 are given the Covaxin. Furthermore, the children can avail the booster after 90 days of being vaccinated with both doses. It is also to be noted that more than 390 teenagers turned up for the vaccination on January 10, while around 200 have turned up on 11 January and still counting.
যাকলে তো আমি টোটাল ভ্যাকসিনেশন মারিছেন 398 আজি লাগাতে বি এক্সপেক্ট কৰি আছে আমি মোর দেন দ্যাট আমি ট্রাই কৰি আছে
তো the vaccination drive তো কিমান ডেজ ললেছ না
ইটো কিমান তক মানুহখন আই থাকিব আমি মারি থাকিব
তো তো লাইক ডেডলাইন নাই
এতিয়া তো এতিয়া ফার্স্ট ডোজ মারাখন সেকেন্ড ডোজ মারাখন এতিয়া বুস্টার ডোজ বি আইনা আছে তো তাইখন বি মই মানুহখন ইটো বি কৈ দিব আপনি সেকেন্ড ডোজ কেতিয়া লৈছে উটো ডেট পুরা 9 মান্থস কমপ্লিট হওয়ার পিছতে আপনি বুস্টার ডোজ বি একনা মারিব ইটো পারে বুস্টার ডোজ বি স্টার্ট হয়েছে অলরেডি তো মই এইটো খালি এইটো মানুহে জনাই দি আছে কি 2005, 6, 7 বৰ্ন খান তো কোভ্যাক্সিন দি আছে আৰু 2003, 2004 এইটোলা আগে লাগা জন্ম খান তো সব কোভিশিল্ড দৱাই পাব এইটো আছে
Hello everyone, welcome to Nltv. Sab manu lao ka awas. Aaj ami khan yedi Lions Club Dimapur de aise. To aaj ami khan yedi aata apni khan dikan national tek COVID vaccine la drive chaise. To aaj la the vaccination drive to 2005, 6, 7 khan born khan la porde. To do tahan 2005, 6, 7 de janam ha gan do tahan to co-vaccine de aise. Aro 2003, 2004 de janam ha gan to Covishield de aise. Aro the vaccination drive to kitia tak khatam hobo etu to najane because tahan ahinali thakibo pare na ksharo apnian hona nishna booster do bi ahina sikse to after 9 months tahan itu co-vaccine aro
The Guwahati High Court has issued notices to the Assam and Nagaland Governor Professor Jagdish Mukhi for alleged financial irregularities in 3 state universities and 1 central varsity. Governor Jagdish Mukhi is the chancellor of all the 4 universities: Tezpur University, Assam Agricultural University, Guwahati University and Dibrugarh University. A bench comprising of Chief Justice Sudhanshu Dhulia and Justice Sumitra Saikia issued the notices after hearing a public interest litigation filed by NGO Amguri Naba Nirman Samiti. Besides the Chancellor, the HC has also sent notices to the UGC State Education Department, Chief Secretary, Higher Education Director, Controller of Assam Agricultural University, Registrars of Guwahati, Dibrugarh and Tezpur Universities, DGP and SP of the Chief Minister's Vigilance Cell. Furthermore, the bench also directed the respondents to file their reply within 3 weeks. Several Supreme Court advocates on Monday claimed to have received an international call with a recorded message asking the apex court not to help the central government by taking up a case connected with Prime Minister Narendra Modi's security breach in Punjab last week. The lawyers said calls being made from UK, which was received approximately 10:40 a.m. and 12:36 p.m. Advocate Deepak Prakash has filed a police complaint regarding the issue, bringing the matter into court's attention. In Delhi, all private offices have been asked to close except those exempt under new COVID-19 safety guidelines. Delhi has sent employees to work from home in new COVID rules to tackle the surge in cases. Only offices considered essential services will be exempted. Offices had been asked to function with half of their employees in the office and the rest at home. Government offices in the city are working with 50% attendance. Those exempted from the new COVID rule include private banks, office providing essential services, insurance, pharma and microfinance companies, lawyers, offices and courier services. The decision was taken by the Delhi Disaster Management Authority. A man allegedly set a bank on fire in the Haveri district at Karnataka on Sunday over the rejection of his loan application. The accused has been arrested and a case has been registered at Kajinelli police station under sections 436, 477 and 435 of the Indian Penal Code. According to the police, the accused wanted a loan that he approached the bank. However, the bank denied his loan application after the verification of his documents. Uttar Pradesh Minister Suresh Kumar Khanna has been accused by the Samajwadi Party of inaugurating an incomplete bridge on the river Gara. The party alleged that the Minister Khanna wanted to take credit and befool people ahead of assembly polls. The SP also said the bridge was inaugurated days before the Model Code of Conduct came into force. The MCC came into effect on Saturday. A study led by the University of Exeter discovered 2 new Vibrio bacteria in a sea along Chichester Harbour in the UK. According to the study, warmer waters due to rising global temperatures have led to growing diversity in Vibrio species. The research mentioned that when eaten in raw or undercooked shellfish, it can cause stomach bugs in humans. Singer Lata Mangeshkar has been hospitalized in intensive care unit of the Bridge Candy Hospital in Mumbai. Her niece Rachana Shah confirmed the news and said that she has mild symptoms. Considering her age, the doctors has advised that she should be in the ICU as she requires constant care. Meanwhile, Satya Raj, who is popularly known for portraying the role of Katappa in the Bahubali film franchise, was admitted to the hospital after testing positive for COVID-19. The veteran actor's son, CB Satyaraj Aka CB Raj, has shared the good news that his father was discharged from the hospital last night and is back home. He also shared that Satyaraj would be resuming work soon. In a rare medical feat, the US doctors have successfully transplanted a genetically modified pig heart to a 57-year-old patient with terminal heart disease, arrhythmia. The patient, David Bennett, a Maryland resident, was hospitalized and bedridden for the past few months, connected to a heart-lung bypass machine to remain alive. However, doctors observed progress in the patient's health 3 days after his surgery at University of Maryland Medicine. The organ transplant demonstrated for the first time that a genetically modified animal heart can function like a human heart without immediate rejection by the body. 6 human genes were inserted into the genome of the donor pig to make the pig heart more tolerable to human immune system before the organ was transplanted to the man. With the presence of the Chinese increasing in the Indo-Pacific Ocean, a German warship is set to dock in Mumbai later this month. The German frigate Bayern, which has been deployed in the Indo-Pacific region, is a signal to China over the announcement of Berlin's strategy in 2020 to maintain rule-based international order in the region. Reportedly, the warship is expected to dock in Mumbai on January 21, and the officials are considering the option of demonstrating the ship. The ship has been in the Indo-Pacific region since August 2021. Meanwhile, it was sent on a patrol and training mission to strengthen Germany's operations in the region. North Korea on Tuesday fired a suspected ballistic missile into the sea. South Korea's military said that it detected a suspected ballistic missile Friday by North Korea from land towards the East Sea at around 7:27 a.m. on Tuesday. The UN Security Council held a meeting at New York to discuss on hypersonic missile test. 6 different countries urged North Korea on Monday to cease destabilizing actions ahead of the UN Security Council closed-door meeting. However, North Korea have tested the missile. Hence, the 6 countries have decided to take strict actions against North Korea. The U.S. cited that while closely monitoring the situation and highlighted that China's behavior was an attempt to intimidate its neighbors. It said that it would continue to stand with its partners a day ahead of the 14th round of military discussions between India and China to find a resolution to the over 21-month-long standoff in eastern Ladakh. The United States Tuesday said it was closely monitoring the situation and highlighted that China's behavior was an attempt to intimidate its neighbors. The U.S. said it would continue to stand with its partners. Speaking during a daily press briefing, President Joe Biden's press secretary Jen Psaki said, "We continue to closely monitor the situation and we continue to support dialogue and peaceful resolution of these border disputes." She was responding to a question on China's aggressive behavior on its border with India. Thank you, viewers. That's all for Nltv Primetime News. For more updates, keep watching Nltv. Samanu Lagawas.
Nagaland TV, Stop Manulaga Awas. Watch us live on Geo TV and on your television sets as well. For Dimapur viewers, we are on channel number 10 in Global Chapter, and for Kohima